2, 3.
Game on! Game on! It's gaming time! Excellent! Game on! Game on! It's gaming time! Excellent!
Hello everybody, welcome back. Another weekly show. I look forward to these Wednesdays so much. It's so much good fun. So much good stuff going on here too. What about you guys? Stormy, Pete, how are we doing tonight?
I'm really good actually. I had a really nice day out in the city. Which it was a little overcast. I think I just missed a little bit of a drizzle on the way back. Are you hungry, Pete?
Sorry, no, I'm just referring to Charlie Golf's comment there on Twitch. It says Pete's mic is very phallic, so just aren't
most microphones sort of phallic?
No, it depends really. I mean, like, you know, the blue microphones, for example, I would argue that they're more below what one might consider the phallus. But anyway, this is an entirely different thing that we're getting onto, and we should get back to Stormy's chat about going to the city as soon as we possibly
can. Sorry, distracted.
I don't know if anyone Perth has been here before, because I really love this place, and it is gaming related. There's a little cafe called like Game City Espresso Bar. And yeah, they're wonderful. Any chance I get in the city, I always find an excuse to get a bagel there, and they've got like a pinball machine. They've got all sorts of like video game pop culture stuff around. It's really cool. So that's how I spent my day. And then I've just been chilling and playing some Apex. That's it. What about you, Pete?
Just hanging out, guys. Just had a bit of a day. God, what can I say? Really, what can I say? I'm just trying to think about what it is exactly that I could say, because I did have it. There it was. There was the moment. Gamma said he's got a blue Yeti, which, you know, the whole point of having blue. Anyway, so we move on. Yeah, no, I've had a really nice day. Thanks, guys. I've had quite the week. It's been quite a hectic week, particularly with the day job. It's been quite newsy this week because of the slap heard around the world between one Will Smith and Chris Rock. And then, you know, we've got the budget handed down. So this is all this other shit that I've got to cover off in my other life. And then finally I get to come to a Wednesday where I get to do the stuff that I really want to do, which is hang out with you wonderful people and chat about video games and discuss shaved testicles, thanks to our dear friends at Manscaped. That's exactly what I want to do. Please.
Me too. What can we talk about there? Because like I'd like to talk about shaved testicles as well. You know? Right.
Okay. Well, I'll get started. See, I have a little something for you guys. Yeah, I know, seg of the century. Thank you very much, Charlie Golf. So, of course, we are still with Manscaped, or rather, they are still with us. Manscaped, wonderful company, wonderful technology. I've been using them myself, and I'm not lying when I say that I'm very thoroughly impressed. I got the Performance Package 4.0, and it certainly does perform. And it's got the 4th generation trimmer, and it's got the cutting edge ceramic blade. And, you know, I haven't had an accident yet. I've kept up to date with it. It's got this advanced skin safe technology. It's, you know, and it's all that it's cracked up to be. It's not just fancy words that they throw around. It's waterproof as well. It's got this LED spotlight. It's got all the things. And then the aftercare is quite good. I'm enjoying using the lotions. But, guys, I thought just for a bit of fun tonight, what we might do is we might play a game. If you two would like to play a bit of a game.
Okay.
Playing a game on a podcast about gaming? Can we do that?
Crazy. So this is the Manscaped game, and you'll have to excuse me because it has been quite a hectic week and a hectic day. I don't have any sound effects or anything, so we might just have to go a cappella. But here's how this game works, right? It's a Manscaped game. The game is called Guess Dem Clean Balls. So what's going to happen is, Stormy, it's you versus Straightjacket Jim. And these are descriptions of game characters that I imagine would actually manscape. and keep themselves quite neat down there. And I've got a couple. As I mentioned, it's best of 3 wins. And would you like the first description?
Yeah, go on. Wait, how do we buzz in? How do we like?
You can buzz in with. Would you like to buzz in with your name? Would you like to buzz in with Stormie?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay, so but give me an example. Give me Stormie. Give me how are you going to buzz in?
Stormie. There we go.
That's pretty good. Straight.
Straight.
Oh, I like that. There's a bit of gravel in your voice as well. I like that. Right. Here's your first one. Actually, I might have some sound. Do I have some? No, that's crap. No, that's crap. That's crap. That's crap.
So this is strictly video game characters, right?
Strictly video game characters.
Human?
Well, hang on. Stop asking questions,
Okay,
mate.
sorry.
You're not allowed to ask questions.
This is Guess Dem Clean Balls. Yeah. This is Guess Dem Clean Balls, not 20 questions. Come on.
Oh, God. Okay. I really want to beat you now.
I do have yeah, okay, I've got correct and incorrect sound effects and stuff. Okay, here we go. Here's your first one. All right. Did you guys get that sound effect? Did that work?
Can you do it again?
Did that work?
Not really.
What? Is that what it's supposed to be sounding like?
It's meant to be that.
Like cutting. Yeah.
I'll shut my mouth. Okay, here we go. All right, first one. I'm an anti-hero who's down there, although being incredibly smooth, would probably be very sweaty from my loincloth. Any takers? Any takers yet? I can go on. I'll go on.
Yeah, go on. Go on.
You can't get this. If you get this wrong, by the way, you're not out. So you can have a go.
Okay.
Okay. Aphrodite's seen them. In fact, she's probably seen them quite often. Remember, these are video game characters. They are chalk white.
Yeah, straight.
Yes, straight.
It's got to be Kratos, surely. God of War.
Kratos.
Yeah. Little bit of help from chat there, just a little bit.
You cheat!
Cheat!
What do you look at chat? What are you doing?
Oh, sorry, I'll close my eyes.
Oh my
god. Looking at
All
chat.
right, hang on. We're turning off chat. I'm turning off chat.
As well. I
All
was
right,
looking and
go
I
on.
was like, you know what? I'm not going to say Kratos. Wow.
Should have said Kratos.
Cheater.
You should have said Kratos.
Cheater.
Point to chat.
All's fair in love and in game shows. Yeah.
Okay, here's the next one. I imagine this character would experience quite the severe amount of chafe, and one might argue that they're a royal blue, considering that he spends a lot of his time chasing a certain woman. Yes?
Oh. No, I heard you finish the sentence and it's not who I thought it was.
Straight.
Yeah.
Straight.
Yeah.
Yes,
sorry.
straight. Yes,
Mario. No? Oh. There you go.
That's a good guess. Okay.
That is a really good guess. That is a really, really good guess. Chasing a certain woman who, for some reason, does not seem to be able to take on what I feel are his advances. All right? I'm not saying that he's sort of out there, but I think in his most recent iteration, I kind of feel like there might have been something going on there anyway. If he's not using the Lawnmower 4.0 from Manscaped, he's definitely using his own blade, and he's quite the master. Yes, Stormie.
Oh no, I know the game, but I've never played it, and I only know one character from it. You said they were blue. Oh no, I don't want to say it because I've definitely got it wrong. Because the first I'm thinking of is wearing red. No, sorry, I'm out. I got too excited. Jim, do you want to take it?
Right. His own sword, which he would be quite the master at using, I would imagine. Occasionally, this. What? Did you say straight?
Is it Link?
It's Link.
I think Link.
Straight. I think that means that you I think it means you get the chance. Well done, mate. Congratulations.
Sorry, Stormie. Well played,
Stormie,
eh?
What are you thinking?
Fine.
What are you thinking?
Well, no, I thought.
What was the character?
No, well, the first one where Jim said Mario, before I heard woman, I thought blue and I went Sonic because I thought, oh man, he runs fast. He probably needs some clean, undersides. And then the second one, when he said blade, all I thought of was like the Keyblade from Kingdom Hearts, and I was like, oh wait a minute. I was like, I
Who's the dude?
really got it wrong.
Who's the dude from Kingdom Hearts?
Sora.
Sora. And I was like, no, but he was black and red, and I've never played the game, so I was just like,
You get that ban on Dansky, and what would get those dirty, dirty chat spam bops out of here?
Bloody bots.
Bloody bots.
Oh, I'm glad I'm not the only one that thought Sonic as well. Okay, that makes me feel better. I just got the chat up, so.
Some other people did say Sonic.
Ugh.
There you go, guys. It's a cheeky little game. I'm going to throw some
I like
sound effects and some other bits and pieces to it as well next week. And congratulations, Straight Jacket Jim. You win a kiss.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Didn't want it anyway. It's fine.
And of course, thank you, Manscaped, for being a wonderful part of this show and a wonderful part of Game on Australia. The people thank you. We thank you. And my downstairs area is quite consistently thanking you at the moment as well. It's wonderful.
That's it. And if you want to be like Pete, thanking your downstairs area or getting your downstairs area to thank Manscaped, Game on Oz has a 20% off code at the moment that's going through the chat. So if you go to Manscaped, when you get to the checkout, put in GOA and get your 20% off.
That's right, 20% off, guys. And I'll tell you what, like the packages I got has everything. It's about 170 bucks worth, 20% off, or not close to the $30 off. And you will be loving this. It's bloody good stuff. Excuse me a moment. Off you go.
Drop Bear said Duke Nukem would surely Manscape. You know who else I think would Manscape is... I don't know, this is so random. Like...
It's the Joker.
Oh, hello.
It's the Joker.
Hey. Oh, hello, Joker.
Is good old Fusey from Apex Legends, the Aussie dude. I don't know. I get
You reckon
the vibes.
is he the guy who blows himself up?
He's got the explosions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He probably would.
I just made the correlation. There's two like Aussie characters, like multiplayer characters. You've got like Fuse from Apex, and then if you guys remember Junkrat from Overwatch, both have to do with explosions.
Junkrat's the bomb. I love Junkrat. I imagine he would Manscape if he hadn't have blown his off. What's happening? What's going on in the game space, you guys? What's going on? What are we talking about tonight?
Well, I think at the moment, because I feel like every time I come on the show, I'm always talking about either playing Apex or Hades and all of that stuff. But I took a slightly different direction this week, and it wasn't out of my own decision making. I was peer pressured into it, and should now be proudly called the greatest sister in the world, because my sister ordered a physical copy of Five Nights Security Breach, and for anyone that knows me, I absolutely do not like the franchise. Not that's very strong. I do not like the game. I think the franchise is very clever, but I get scared very, very easily. So we picked it up for the PlayStation last week, and we waited to hang out together before we played it, and it's still absolutely terrifying. Like, I'm like, you know, in my mid-20s, and I'm sitting like I'm huddled like this next to my little 12-year-old sister, because I'm just like, nah, don't want to play it, and it's actually really clever. I've tried to be quite open-minded about it, because I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen some of the original game where you're just stuck in one security room, and you have to obviously stay in there and make sure you just survive the night. But this one actually takes it in a slightly different direction, where there is like a big kind of map to explore inside like the pizzeria, which I thought was like a really interesting take on it. I know it's been out on the PC for a little while already, and it's only just made its way physically, like on disc to console. It's still quite glitchy, and still feels a little unpolished for like the $60 that it was. I think it was about 60, $70. But the concept and the direction they took the game, I think I can really appreciate, and we're slowly making tracks through it. But yeah, that was a unexpected game that I wasn't planning on playing this week that I actually played a couple of hours of with her, but I would not play it on my own. It still scares me.
So I'm just guessing you play with like lights off and that's what doors closed.
No, we we played it in the middle of the day. Mind you, it was a bit overcast. So it was a little dark, but we had like the sound on loud, so whenever something like grabbed us or whatever, it just hit like with full force. But the worst and best kind of part about it was like she had watched YouTubers, like as kids do, watching YouTubers play the game already, and she was kind of bragging and being like, "Oh, I've seen the gameplay like twice. I know what to do." But she was like equally as scared, but also wouldn't tell me when something scary was coming up. So she was prepared for it, and I wasn't. And then I became like the joke of the next half an hour for jumping so hard. So yeah, that's something new that I played this week. It's not too bad, but I think it's a little bit pricey for what it is personally. But I think the original games are relatively cheap on other consoles. I think it's still on Xbox Game Pass as well, the original ones. So if anyone wanted to try it out, and you for whatever reason enjoy jump scares, then there you go. You should try that. Yeah,
I don't know
that's what I've been playing.
It's insane. I can't do it.
I don't understand how so many kids love it, because I can't. I'm an adult. Like I can't. I don't know if it's like the Toy Story fan in me that just like, things come to life at night. Like, ugh, I can't. I mean, have you guys ever played anything as like intentionally jump scary as this before, or?
Not really, because I'm a pansy. I'm a real willy when it comes to that sort of stuff. So I'll tell you guys a story. Like, there was a girl that I dated, like 20 odd years ago, and our first date was to go and see The Ring at the cinema, and I hid behind her pretty much the entire night. And
I have not seen The Ring.
My God, like just the like. That's the sound this thing makes. Scarier than that, and the way that it like moved, and so I'm not a horror jump scare like late at night. Yeah, I just can't deal. Straight.
I have not seen I'm a bit like you, Pete. I'm a bit of a pansy, but I do have Phasmophobia sitting there waiting to play, and I've kind of got an excuse at the moment because I want to play it in VR, and I need to get a new cable for the VR headset, which is on its way. So yeah, at the moment I can't play Phasmophobia, but I kind of want to. I kind of want to do those jump scary type games. I want to see how fun that they can be, and see how inventive I can get with creating new swear words.
I think if you ever play Phasmophobia, Jim, just let me know, because I personally quite enjoy playing that. I think it's the one horror thing that does have scares that I do end up going back to, probably because it is multiplayer and I don't feel like I'm on my own.
Yeah.
But I am not like brave enough to do it in VR, not at all. So props to you. If you do it, I'll be there. What have you guys been playing?
So I jumped onto quite the cute little puzzler this week. This I picked up on Xbox Game Pass, and I actually grabbed it because I was looking for something that was I just had an afternoon where I didn't want anything too intense. I've been playing Elden Ring for a while. Very intense game, wonderful game, absolutely enjoying the shit out of it. But I actually wanted something where it would challenge me, but I wasn't on the edge of my seat. You know, like one of those afternoons where you're sitting back into the couch. Like that sort of afternoon. So I found this game bloody called... here we go. Yep, it's up there. We're seeing it now. I can't believe the name has escaped me. I Am Fish. So I found this game called I Am Fish. And I'm absolutely in love with it. You can see it on your screen now. And essentially what you do is you control these fish through all of these different areas, and you gradually progress through levels like through a city. But it's all physics. It's all physics. It's a giant physics game, and it's a big puzzler. And so you've got to get them from A to B to C to D, and eventually, like in what you can see here, like this particular little fish, you get to start with him in a store, and then you got to get him from the store to the ocean, and you're going across roofs and you're dodging traffic, and you're going up and down things and all over the place, and you pass this level, you get to the next level, and there's a bit of a story to it, not too much story, and to be honest with you, the story doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, it's just a cool little physics puzzler. But in this case, like once you do A, some dude comes and finds you in your little round orb fish tank, picks you up, takes him home, and then the next level you're starting in the attic of their house. You got to be careful of the heights that you drop from because you'll smash your orb and you'll fall out and you'll die. And as you can imagine, being a fish, watching it die is actually quite tragic.
It looks really cute. This reminds me of the end of the first, of Finding Nemo.
Yeah, I had a real big urge to sit there and go, shark bait, hoo-ha.
Yeah.
But it is
like, but this makes it look so much cooler. Like, this looks awesome.
If you smash him, he just flops around and then he just goes still, and it's really sad. He's just got this really blank, sad look on his face when he dies. And that was the thing that really stuck out to me. So try not to make this poor fish die. But it's got this really, really cool thing. So it's not just like you're stuck in this orb that you're watching on the screen right now. Like once you actually get out of this tiny little fish tank, at some point you do break out of it and you break it open and you end up in a river, or you end up in the ocean, or you end up in a pool. And you're actually doing things like dodging predators at some point. You're also managing yourself through plumbing and pipe work and sewerage and all of these cool little different things. So not a terribly hard game, just a very cute game, and the sort of game that I would recommend to somebody if they just want to sink back into their seat one afternoon and just have a bit of a challenge, but nothing that's going to make them sweat.
Nice.
I love the Finding Nemo quote that Drop Bear just chucked into the chat as well. The sun is shining, the tank is clean. The tank is clean.
The tank is clean. There you go. You can see him, he's this is the part in the second level where you come out of the attic, you bounce down onto a trampoline, and then you bounce into a pool and you break open, and now you're going through this piping. Yeah, I like it. It's really cool. It's great. Swotor?
Actually, no. I didn't get around to playing SWOTOR this week. I missed out on the weeklies.
No.
I've had a busy week actually. Like hockey's back. I actually got outside and touched grass and did stuff.
Oh.
But I know, right. But still playing a little bit more of Tunic that we were talking about last week. I should pause that one. Having a lot of fun with that one still trying to get my Foxy Loxy around and do all the different little bits and pieces. I'm at the point now where I've had enough of trying to solve the puzzles because, we've been raving about this game for a little bit, but to me, it's just gotten to a point where the puzzles are so bloody cryptic, and working out what to do is just so goddamn hard. I've just gone, I've had enough. I've had fun, and now I'm good, but I just want to finish it now. But it's still a good fun game, and it's on Games Pass for everybody if they're keen to try it out. I was actually talking to Grumpy Gore on one of our reviewers because he was playing it as well, and he had the similar sort of feelings about it. Just how, we're at the start when you're unlocking all the different manual pages and stuff like that. It's fun. It's something new. It's something a bit different. But yeah, then after a while, it starts getting very, very. I spent an hour going back through old areas on some points because I'd missed something, and then I realized that I'd gotten to. It was after getting through one of the dark dungeons on the overworld map, and you come round back to the first. I'm going to call it a bonfire, but it's not a bonfire. You can get the save recharge point, and because I just didn't go down and go behind something and flick a switch, I didn't know that there was something there that I could go on and continue the game for. So I've missed that and spent an hour trying to backtrack and find something when really all I needed to do was go forward a little bit more. And this game's full of that. And if I think that your way forward should always be clear. If you want to make the puzzles, I mean the extra stuff puzzlier and that sort of thing and really cryptic, that's cool. But I think your way forward should always be reasonably clear. So yeah.
This is one. So I have this issue with, and I've put since we caught up last week, I've sort of put Tunic down for the moment and gone back to a couple of other things as well as, having that Arvo playing I Am Fish. And I get to a stage with some games where, and I actually found that this happened to me with Hollow Knight as well. And that is, if I can't sit there, like with a game like Tunic, where it does make you backtrack quite often along paths that you've already, covered half a dozen times, if not more, I actually start to get a little bit tired of it. And I find that I have to have a bit of a rest. Now, if I can't sort of sit there and just power through, for a good solid block, if I miss a couple of days, it's also one of those games where I struggle to come back to it because I turn it on and I go, fuck, where was I? Where do I begin? And so like this happened to me with Hollow Knight, and I didn't come back for 3 months, and I had to start the game again. And I swear to God, I was like 65% of the way through that game.
Yeah.
Are you just finding that with this game at the moment? It's just like you're actually having to go back over areas too many times, or what?
Not so much, because I got to right at the end where, I didn't know, because this game does not tell you anything at all. But I'm reasonably sure I'm at the last boss fight. So I stopped there and was doing other things and looking around. But what I felt like, I haven't played Hollow Knight myself, but I've played Ori and the Blind Forest and Will of the Wisps. And where a game like Tunic differs from those, and even Metroid Dread, I played that reasonably recently as well. And where those three games differ from Tunic is that they will tell you need to go to spot X, and you'll use the map and you'll try and get there, but something will be blocking your way. And so you go, all right, well, I need to find something else to help me get me to spot X, and there'll be a spot Y where you can go and get stuff. So but yeah, Tunic just does not tell you anything at all. It doesn't even tell you, all right, well, this is the next dungeon you're trying to get to, and leave you to it. It doesn't even tell you that there are dungeons. It doesn't tell you much at all. And that kind of wore thin a bit during the game. Like,
right. Can I just jump in for a quick second? The reason why I was laughing, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry if that sort of knocked you off your pace a little bit. It's because we never see Pavlova face here. Now I'm sure that he occasionally lurks. For those of you who never heard of this bloke before, Pavlova is one of the most wonderful local streamers, local legends here in Perth. He's the Pineapple Man, and he's just gorgeous, right? But I just had this image because I swear to God, it's been a long time since I've seen Pavlova, and yet I mentioned Hollow Knight, and he appears. Yeah. Now, of anybody that I watch stream, Hollow Knight's his thing. I don't give a shit what even the developers say about owning. Sure, they developed it. He owns the game, as far as I'm concerned. It's your game, Pav. It's your freaking game. And it's so funny because it's literally like watching Twitch chat and me going, "Oh, yeah, tuning, Hollow Knight," and then him going, "Somebody say
My Hollow Knight radar is going."
It's so good. It's so good to see you, bro. That's great.
Well, it's always good to have you. Sorry, Stormie, go on.
I just realized that just very, very quickly, because it's a very bizarre one. I actually, because I had it right next to me, I played Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City, which is only on the 360. I got it for Christmas from one of my best friends, and there was like 4 of us. I got a copy each, and it's like it's like online multiplayer, and it's kind of set in this like alternate timeline where like if like Leon, Jill, like basically didn't succeed in the events of like Resident Evil 2 and 3. And that was really fun. That's all I had to add to that. I knew there was something I did enjoy this week that I played, and it was that one.
Man, did you have a little bit of like, was it tedious? I find going back to old school games quite tedious.
Initially, I think like making that shift between getting used to like how not as smooth, I guess, like kind of clunky the 360 controls used to be. I don't know. I feel like I picked up on it like fairly quickly, but like, I mean, like story wise, I don't know. Obviously, the quality of story and stuff we get now is like so high. And I've like, not to kind of crap on this one too much, but it's like brilliantly like corny in some respects, in terms of like just the action and the like very kind of cliche action lines and stuff that get spit out in some of these 360 games that I have played. But no, it's just another Resident Evil game to add to my collection. But to answer your question, yeah, maybe it was a little tedious first, but once we got kind of stuck into it, I think we ended up playing it for about like 2 or 3 hours straight, and yeah, it was actually pretty good.
Is the voice acting on par with the early Resident Evil games? Because some of those are just like, especially, was it the first one that had like the really amazingly bad voice acting?
Yeah, it definitely had those vibes. I'm gonna be honest, we're kind of there to just like, well, I don't know. I didn't actually realize this until like halfway through we played. Like the party leader or the game leader actually set us on like the hardest difficulty. So we were more worried about like skipping all the cutscenes just to replay the same sections over and over again. Yeah, no, it was, yeah, those one-liners and stuff are something else. Something you don't get now, I'll say that much.
Yeah, there's one game that I kind of want to play again now. I haven't played it for a while, but I do want to go back to it, is Fortnite. Because they've made some changes. And when I first heard about it, because like most people probably would have heard, like they've got a no build mode now. Like I think the whole thing was like this particular season was stripping back the building and was going to make a return. And I remember thinking at the time that why would you get rid of the thing that makes your product unique? But if you're just adding another mode, I think that that's pretty clever by Epic doing that. And it's kind of draw back in. Like, I've heard a lot of people that have gotten sick of the building. Freaking Dan the Internet, he hates the building in Fortnite, but loves playing Fortnite. He's got to be ecstatic with that.
That's why he can't build for shit.
Yeah.
That's why he can't build. Like early on, we first started the Go a Weekly show like 50 years ago now. The Fortnite was one of the things that we would discuss quite often. And it was one of his biggest rage things. He would rant and rave about it every week because he'd get so pissy because the guys like he was playing against in Fortnite could literally whip up these Taj Mahal structures with just and their fingers flying and still manage to like jump off, 360 spin, no scope, bang, pop him, and he just raged so hard. So yeah, I can imagine he'd be having the time of his life. I agree with you. Say that again.
Have any of you played the no build mode yet?
No.
Oh, it's been a long time since I played me some Fork Knife. I'll tell you now. So no, I haven't. Did you say you had a crack at it?
Yeah, last night actually. I went and updated it, and I went, go on then, because like I'm not gonna repeat myself from the last few weeks too much, but like Apex is like by far my favorite battle royale game. And I did give Fortnite a go like really, really early days, just to see what it was like. But yeah, that building, I just could not get my head around it. And I'm watching like people just like what Pete was saying, just like in 2 seconds, like you've just built a whole tower and like someone's standing on top of you and you're like, I guess I'll die then. Like it's just one of those scenarios. And I played it last night. And I think what they've added, and I could be wrong because again I haven't played this in a very, very long time. In the no build mode, you can sprint now, which has like a stamina meter. You can vault very similarly to Apex, so we're probably going to compare it to there as well. So you can kind of jump to some higher ledges. I think because now you can't build, they've compensated for that way.
Yeah, and also like you've got the recharging overshields. You sport into the game with that, right?
Yeah, I think but yeah, you could slide across like the slopes and stuff now. Yeah, I actually quite enjoyed it. Like I'm pretty convinced to just give it another go again, because that was the one part of it which stopped me from going to play it in the first place, was that damn building. But like props to people who can do it, but I cannot.
So because I'm curious, I haven't played Fortnite for a very, very long time either, but like we're watching the trailer playing in the background at the moment, and there's things like tanks and artillery guns and things like that, and like I don't remember that stuff being in Fortnite last time, so I'm wondering if they've added this in to be more traditional battle royale now, like your war zones and your PUBGs, just in sort of Fortnite.
Yeah, it's really interesting because like when I was playing it last night, and obviously I got thrown into it after not playing it for ages and ages and ages, and I was in a team of 3, and one of my mates was like, "Oh yeah, that's the battle bus. It's on the way." Because I was like, "What's that loud sound?" And I was like, "Didn't we just jump out the battle bus?" And he's like, "Oh no, there's a battle bus you can actually drive, and it has a turret on it, and you can take it around with you, and you can repair the battle bus, and you can modify it." And I was like, "What? Like, since when?" And you're right. There's like turrets lying about and heaps of different little items and stuff to like boost your shields and like remote like the detonatable like bombs and stuff like that. But like yeah, they've just incorporated so much. And I know we spoke about this a few weeks ago, but I got to see some of those paid skins firsthand, and as someone who's not paid a single cent for anything, I felt so like the odd one out.
So naked in the game is just
like I felt so lame. And I can understand, I guess, why people get that, like, FOMO. Because I just wear this, like, very generic Fortnite outfit, and I'm seeing, like, Carnage, and I'm seeing, you know, all these, like, Marvel heroes, and I'm seeing, like, I think Naruto, or, you know, it's so strange. But, like, it's amazing just seeing how much that's evolved in the time. Like, I'm sure it's the same for the 3 of us. It being so long since we've actually touched the game, how much it's changed. So yeah, it's a bit of a shock to the system.
I mean, it makes sense to introduce this, right? Like it broadens the game out. As you guys have mentioned, you're right there. You've spilt some. You good?
Had a flying coaster. It's stuck.
Like it broadens the audience for the game out. You know, even though Dan, for all of his whinging, would still play it. He's more likely to play it more often now. It probably opens up a lot of those people who are like, I'm not getting on it because I don't know how to build and I hate going up against people who build. So opens up your player base.
Even like Reflex in the chat, who's one of Goa's stream team members here, like he's quite well known for his dislike of Fortnite, but even he's saying, I'm going to give it a go.
Yeah. Reflex is... Reflex is spot on. There's 2 things in Goa's lifetime that I remember Dan saying. And the classic lines, classic historical lines of Goa. And that one there, the first thing I remember about Goa is Dan saying, this is the only game where you take 1 bullet and turn into a 3-story building. So that's the classic line. And the other one was when he reviewed Pro Evolution Soccer 2021. It was like... Pro Evolution Soccer 2021. It's the same fucking game. Okay, and that was it. Yeah. Bang, mic drop, and he's out. It's the same fucking game. Classic. It's the sort of thing where I like, to me, I hate saying this because it's mean. It is mean, but Fortnite has almost felt like a dirty word in my mouth whenever I've said it. And I think I just got on the bandwagon earlier. Like, I was playing a lot of Overwatch. I think I just got on the bandwagon earlier of, I'm not playing Fortnite. Fortnite, your own kid playing Fortnite. But with this new, you know, and I think it was, you know, I'm going to own the fact that it was a little bit of I couldn't build for shit either. And was sick of having my ass handed to me by little kids. So, yeah, I might jump on board the bandwagon and give it a go as well. Night, Flexi.
Good night. Go a Fortnite night. Fortnite
Maybe.
night.
Go a Fortnite night.
Fortnite night.
Go a Fortnite night. Actually, maybe next week. I got a week off next week.
Do you? Ooh.
Yeah, so I don't have to go to
Oh.
bed. So,
I've got a big assignment due on Friday, and then after that, I've got a little bit of time. I'm sure I can.
as
lend-
in, you got a big assignment due this Friday?
Yeah, but then next week,
Oh.
Ooh.
Fortnite time.
Open slather.
Where we
Fortnite
got them, boys.
Fortnite nights. Dress up as knights and play Fortnite night. Can I just quickly say, just while we're talking about sort of plans coming up, Intel dropped by my inbox a couple of days ago. I've just been going back and forth with them. I'm going to be doing a Monster Hunter night for Intel,
Ooh.
either Saturday night or Sunday night, and it is open house. So if you'd like to join, this is not just you guys, but people watching this right now. Yeah, if you want to join, we'll just have some fun.
Do
We'll
it.
have some fun on Monster Hunter because they got a brand new release coming out very soon.
Nice.
It's not Sunbreak, is it? Because I'm just looking at my next video that's queued up. And it's Monster Hunter Sunbreak, which has... Hang on, we're going to say the release date here. Oh, no, that one's... Yeah, the 30th of June. That's a little bit way out. Maybe there's something else that's there. But,
Monster Hunter Rise.
right. Okay.
Monster Hunter Rise.
I've always found Monster Hunter an interesting franchise because it's kind of like Pokemon, but animals actually kill you.
It's like Pokemon, but the animals kill you.
Yeah.
Can I just say that I've always imagined that in Pokemon, it's only because it's a PG audience that we've never seen a Pokemon kill a human. But I would imagine that if we're talking like, come on guys, let's be honest. Like if you are waltzing around up in bloody whatever mountain it happens to be on your way to your 7th badge and you come across a pissed off Charizard, you're not leaving that fight. You're not leaving that fight intact.
Crispy.
Yeah, crispy. So crispy. As if Ash didn't die multiple times
I know, that's
in that
not-
first series. He got shot
know.
on the first night, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, they were ruthless.
But it's even like how, and like in the first few Pokemon games, it was like Pokemon were just these nice, cute little animals that you battled together with, and then what was it? Oh no, it's the one because Arceus had them in it as well. It was like whatever in the Sinnoh region, whatever generation of Pokemon that was. They've got these two Pokemon are the gods of time and space. It's just like, well, shit, they're not quite cute and cuddly anymore, are they?
Well, all of us original sort of players grew up, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
And we got adult brains and adult experiences, and kind of went, oh, okay. So maybe Ash did get burned alive.
Maybe he did. Maybe there's more than one Ash. Maybe what we're watching is a Pokemon multiverse.
Multiverse.
Yeah.
I had a feeling.
And every week we're tuning into a different Ash because the last one died.
Oh, straight jacket shit. Wash your mouth out, sir.
I feel like I need to wash my mouth out. I feel like I need to take a nice long shower because I got some news today that
I feel it's coming.
it is, and I wasn't. It's one of those things where I understand it, but I am really, really not happy about it because
Why?
the sequel to
Sorry,
Breath
I
of the
shouldn't be
Wild
laughing.
has been delayed. So it was supposed to be coming out sometime this year, but Aonuma released a video today saying that it's delayed now until spring 2023. So I'm going to guess that's the spring for the Northern Hemisphere, so we're looking at probably about a year away, which I get the need to delay stuff because, well, that's true these days that a bad game is bad forever, but Nintendo always like to do incredibly polished stuff. But it's been like when 2019 Breath of the Wild 2 was first sort of teased, and I kind of just want it. I want it now. give me Breath of the Wild 2, please.
It's just Link in a cave.
That's right.
I remember when, actually last night, one of my friends broke the news to me, and I went, "No, you got to be joking! Like you're pulling my leg right now. It didn't just get delayed because for so long, we were just like guessing, like surely it's the end of this year, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's rough.
I'm sorry. I'm only seeing this for the first time, and that ain't the Master Sword. How I remember the Master Sword being Master Sword.
No, well, there's a few.
What the shit?
Yeah, I wanted to highlight this because this was one of two little bits in the presentation that Aonuma did about the delay, and when I saw it, I went, I really like it. So for those that are listening to us on Listener for the podcast, it's basically half a Master Sword. So he's got the hilt and some of the blade is glowing, but then it sort of trails off into this sort of twisty black stuff and ends about halfway up where you'd think the blade would be.
Well, it looks like all the it looks like the runes and goop and whatnot that like inflicted the land in the first Breath of the Wild.
It looks like Link's hand, because I go down the rabbit hole of a lot of Legend of Zelda theory videos. Watch a lot of stuff like Hyrule Gamer and Bandit Plays and Nintendo Black Crisis, and they've got like so many theory videos just on anything Zelda. And there's one that says, like, because the whole thing about the Zelda series is that chronologically the first game is Skyward Sword, and that finished with Demise cursing Link and Zelda, and at this time Zelda was like the reincarnation of the goddess Hylia, which the demon Demise was fighting with. Don't get me too started. I won't go too depth into that because there is, like I said, there is a freaking rabbit hole that you can go down here about this.
Feels like that ship sailed.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, it is. I'm still going, but basically that's where the Master Sword started. And there's a theory out there that for the cycle to break with the reincarnation of Link and Zelda and Ganondorf always coming back, because that's the other thing, that Link and Zelda are always different Links and Zeldas, but Ganondorf is always the Ganondorf. He just gets reincarnated and comes back. And there's a theory that says for that cycle to be broken, the Master Sword needs to be broken. So I know it's a long shot, and I'm looking at this going, they've kind of broken the Master Sword. I wonder if this is like step one to maybe bringing in some new bad guys for Zelda in the mainline Zeldas.
So juicy. This is so juicy. I love it. Absolutely.
I understood a little bit of what you said. It just sounds like I have to play more Zelda to understand because I'm like so out of the loop.
Well, I mean, yeah, I would recommend doing that anyway because they're amazing games. Even like,
well, I've just got more time to finish the first Breath of the Wild.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we please, considering he's delayed Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, I feel like he's our nemesis, and I would like to put forward a motion to change Aonuma to now Aonuman, a la Seinfeld and his nemesis Newman. If everybody's happy with that, I move for that motion. All in favour, say aye.
Aye.
I
feel like Miyamoto is going to come out of somewhere and backhand us across the face. And just.
Did you ever watch Seinfeld, Stormie?
Yeah.
Did you? That when it was really flat.
I didn't, but I know who Newman is.
A.O. Newman.
A.O. Newman, yeah.
A.O. Newman.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting, like, because there's a lot of different things, like, even in this screenshot you can see here, you can see the black on Link's hand, which kind of matches the black that's on the sword itself. So, yeah, and I do know as well, like, they're still calling it the sequel to Breath of the Wild. So they're not calling it Breath of the Wild 2 anymore. It's the sequel to Breath of the Wild. They're not releasing the subtitle for it because they've said that it'll give away too much. So that will basically tell us a lot about the game.
Well, for me, it's like, what's going on with that gauntlet? That's the big thing for me in this still that we're looking at here from the Nintendo Direct. It's like, what's going on with that gauntlet? The gauntlet's shining. Clearly, his third of the Triforce, it's strength. Link's power is strength, right?
Courage.
Thank you. So clearly, courage is going off. He's wielding it, but there's got to be something to do with that gauntlet as well, because he's not wearing the same gauntlet on the left hand, so it's not cosmetic. It's definitely something necessary for him, but what appears to wield this version of the Master Sword.
Mm-hmm. But yes,
Pumped.
Yeah, I know, and like I got down on it, but I'm super excited to see it. Like, so Nintendo always polish their games really well, and it's only a year. What's a year between friends?
Very good.
Thank you.
What else we got? We've got a few minutes left. We got anything else going on?
We do. We've got one last thing to talk about. I know, lots to talk about tonight. We've Sony launched their new PlayStation Plus. So this is an interesting thing, and I must admit I don't pay a lot of attention to Sony stuff because I don't have a PlayStation. I would love to get one, but I can't get one. So basically, this is a rejigging of the current PlayStation Plus. So those on the PlayStation Plus now, or PlayStation Now, or whatever their service is called, will be moved over to PlayStation Plus Essential, which is $10 a month. Gets them their 2 free games a month, some discounts, some cloud storage for save files, and online multiplayer. So that's basically what they get now anyway. But then they've got PlayStation Plus Extra, which for $15 a month gets them all the benefits of the Essential tier. So you get your downloadable game, 2 downloadable games a month, you get your saves and your online play, but also you get a catalogue of 400 of PS4 and PS5 games. So that's basically the Sony Game Pass right there.
That's competing with Xbox for sure.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, that's giving you enough choice to give you enough of we've got just as much shit on our thing as Xbox does.
And really they do, because like there's another version on top of that called PlayStation Plus Premium, which is $17.99 US a month, which gets you all the essential and extra stuff, but also adds PS3 games via cloud streaming, and also like a whole heap of PS2, PlayStation 1, PSP titles, both by streaming and download as well. The unfortunate news there is Australia is not on the list to get the cloud gaming stuff just yet, but there will be a product called a PlayStation Plus Deluxe, which will be at a sort of reduced rate so that we can still get everything except for the streaming stuff, which I don't know, it kind of feels like we're a big enough market where we should have been coming out with that.
The streaming stuff?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. Have you guys used xCloud at all?
Yep.
Okay, so...
Not definitely.
Right, now I'm talking about xCloud Game Pass on your PC connected to your internet. So I've used xCloud on my mobile phone, and it like on 5G in particular, it streams really, really well. It's not glitchy, not laggy, not poppy. It's very smooth. I've tried to play a lot of games on my Xbox connected to my home internet, and I've got a decent connection. You know, for an Australian connection, it's a decent connection. Like I'm averaging 120 down, 50 up or whatever it happens to be, and I'm generally hitting those speeds most days on and off peak. And I'm testing these games out, the cloud streaming versions of them, while the rest of the family's out, and I'm just about shutting everything else down just to see how I can go. And I'm having issues. It's struggling. Mm-hmm. It is chugging, and I've got good internet.
Yeah, it's like what Natty said in chat just then. It said it would be great if we had the infrastructure, but I mean that's not Sony's fault. Like I think if they did still offer, the premium in Australia, I don't think anyone here is going to have a good time with it. If I'm going to be honest. Yeah,
I agree with you. I reckon they've probably just gone. It's just not something that we can actually deliver. And the thing is, like, for most people at a very basic level understand the internet and understand how your bits and pieces function on the internet and with the internet and so on and so forth. But, you know, generally getting any more complicated than that, you start to lose people. And like, I reckon there'd be a lot of people out there who would probably be using the xCloud service on their Xbox who might be having the same experience as me. And they'd probably point the finger at Xbox and go, shit service. There's a fair chance that might happen. And whether it's happening or not, you know, Sony are probably looking at that and going, you know what? If we launched it in a market that doesn't have the infrastructure ready and it's not going to work very well on the consoles connected to their internet, then that is something that might come back on us. People might be pissed off at us about that. So how about we just don't launch it, and we'll see what happens. Yeah.
I think in that context, it obviously makes sense, but it's just a shame that, you know, it's like, because we like, it's like talking about PS Now. Is that the other thing we've never got here?
I think PS Now is their current service, and I thought we did get that.
No,
or maybe we didn't. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a
there was
Sony
another
person.
one,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, it's annoying. It's just
It's
also
annoying.
just knowing. It's just like knowing that other places have it, but we don't. It's just like, yeah. I could see why obviously people would be frustrated, but I think like going off what Pete and Natty has said, I think it's just better not to offer it at all if they're not actually going to be able to. If what we have here isn't going to be able to support it well enough for it to be like a well-working product or service.
And that's fine, but why hold back? Like, the PS3 games are only available via cloud streaming. If we don't get cloud streaming here, those PlayStation Plus premium users won't get access to PlayStation 3 games. So, like, why not offer them as downloads then instead? Like,
No, I agree.
I agree.
I think they should. I think they absolutely should offer them as downloads. Without a doubt. I mean, on Xbox, you can go through and you can play back catalogs going all the way back to the 360. You know, admittedly, there's not heaps of them, but they've got some amazing titles up there. You've got all your Fables, you got the Banjos, you got all the Rare games, you've got the Halos. Like, it's, you know, so I think they should be up there. 100%. I think they should. If they want to genuinely compete with Xbox, they should be. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, we're sort of seeing like a lot of the original IP that Sony owned is either not owned by them anymore completely or sort of part owned by other. So I don't know, maybe they're looking at a lot of their back catalog and going, well, we don't own Snake and we don't own Crash and we don't own, you know, so on and so forth. I don't know. Maybe they've looked at it and gone, our huge titles, maybe we don't have the opportunity to put them up there.
Yeah, maybe.
But I mean, that's I'm only like grasping at a handful. Like, there's a shit ton of, like, you know, first party IP Sony PlayStation games out there. God, I'd love to see. Oh God, what was it? It was the Futuristic Racer, and it came out on the first PlayStation. Oh, please, if somebody in chat can remember this game. It was one of the first racing games to come out, and it absolutely blew my mind because I'd never seen anything like it.
I can only remember Ridge Racer, but that was actually like proper racing game.
No, it was all hover ships. Yes, it was Wipeout. Yeah, Wipeout. Wipeout was sick. Wipeout 2048. Yeah, that was a good game. That honestly felt like I couldn't keep up. Like I was like racing faster than anything that I've ever seen, ever. Guys, I'm getting the wind up. That's 6 o'clock.
Yep. Sorry, I'm trying to get my buttons to work because my Stream Deck's not playing the game really, but I'm going to have to do this manually. So going back old school with changing the scenes over because we got Nuts and Bolts coming up next, so please stick around for that. We've got myself and Natty talking about some cool... Oh my God, I'm going to get to geek out on that Chief Pentanet game last... Oh my God. I'm still not over it. It was such a good game. So good.
That's what you come to finals for League of Legends.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hang around if you want to see an interview. You asked me to chase up one of the pentanet.gg guys. I did speak with Scott Western Way, who's the general manager of pentanet.gg. He's just trying to chase one down for you for the show.
Would be
And,
amazing.
hopefully Rogue, because Rogue has had an interesting history. He went over to France. He played internationally for a little while. In between PGG stints, he's now come back. He's essentially leading this team. And they're doing very, very well than they had originally planned. So, yeah, hopefully we get Rogue for you, but hang around on Nuts and Bolts to find out. Big thanks to Manscaped for being a part of us, being a very close part of me in particular. And Stormie, wonderful to see you as always. Straight, you too. And thank you to our wonderful Twitch chat for your support and for joining in the show. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Game on, legends!
Yes!
You have found us. You are here. You are watching our shit. Sorry. No, look, if for some ungodly reason you do really love it, click subscribe. It means that you get notifications and stuff when we upload more of this gear. So, yeah. I mean, that's really it.
We have a heap of stuff going up all the time. So
Yeah.
make sure you don't want to miss any of it.
I mean, you know, it won't put food on the table. We get that. It's not going to earn you money watching our things. It'll earn us money. We're not even monetized yet.
No, we're not. That's how bad it is.
But, I don't know, mate. Just do us a solid, I guess.
Please.
Cheers.
Cheers.